नमस्ते ट्रेडर्स, आप सबका स्वागत है आफ्टर आज विद बेरीज। बैंक निफ्टी और अपने अपने इंडेक्सेस आई थिंक अभी आई वुड से ये मंथ ने तो ये वीक के लिए आई थिंक अगर आप ट्रेड ना करो, अगर आप ऑप्शन बायर हो तो श्योरली ट्रेड मत करो, क्योंकि देयर इज नो सेटअप हैपनिंग और देयर इज मतलब you will just burn your hands. So there is no मतलब you shouldn't put like try and find a setup there. So मैंने बोला था कि रेंज टूटने के बाद भी मैं आई विल गो शॉर्ट, बट स्टिल इफ यू सी ठीक है, एक था मोमेंटम था, बट ये जब तक ये हाईज और ये लो जब तक ब्रेक नहीं होते, आई थिंक अ बिगर मोमेंट वुडंट, आई थिंक इट्स नॉट ऑन द मतलब नहीं आएगा, ऐसा मेरा एनालिसिस है। बट मैं इसलिए अभी मतलब थोड़ा स्टॉक्स भी ढूंढ रहा हूँ, क्योंकि इंडेक्स में तो एज एन ऑप्शन बायर तो कुछ नहीं बन रहा, तो मैं यहाँ पे भी कुछ सेटअप है नहीं, तो मैं आपको कुछ बोलूंगा भी नहीं। निफ्टी भी अगर, क्योंकि हम लोग हमेशा देखते हैं, निफ्टी भी अगर हम देखेंगे तो आई एम प्रिटी श्योर इट्स साइडवेज एज ओ ओके। सो मुझे लगा था कि ये सपोर्ट होल्ड करेगा, पर ये वापस वापस रेंज में आ गया, तो प्रोबेबिलिटी है कि ये लोअर रेंज को टेस्ट कर सकता है। अगेन, नो फोर्सिंग एनी ट्रेड्स हियर। सो आई एम इंडेक्स में आज ऐसा कोई सेटअप है नहीं। लेट्स मूव ऑन टू स्टॉक्स। गंदर क्या है स्टॉक्स मध्ये?
वन इज टाइटन। मतलब ये लेवल टाइटन का ट्रेड ना करे या करे टाइप ऑफ लेवल है, क्योंकि इट हैज ब्रोकन इट डाउन वंस एंड देन इट हैज acted as a resistance for some time. Now it is acting as a support again. There is a downward sloping trend line. तो टाइटन में कोई एक क्लियर सेटअप नहीं दिख रहा। आई वुड हैव प्रिफर्ड इफ वी हैड गॉटन अ बाय एट 2408 जो लेवल मार्क किया हुआ है वो, लेकिन दैट लेवल हैजंट कम, and whether to even enter at this levels or not, I'm not really sure. So this is kind of a setup that our viewers can look at, but still not a very high conviction one on my side.
Yes. Also, only, sorry to cut you off. It's because the hammer, the hourly hammer,
Hmm.
and higher the time frame, some conviction, at least a intraday trade can be done on this setup, like for few points. Not
Yeah.
a swing trade for sure, but yeah, a reversal small intraday trade
Hmm.
can happen. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, continue.
Yes. So yeah, this is now that we are past all the news cycle also. Stocks, I don't know why they are. I mean, it's normal for stocks to move randomly, but it's become very difficult to trade many of the stocks which are not following simple. In fact, even indices are not following simple uh, technical patterns that we used to trade quite often. Another one of the stock that did come into my radar is Manappuram Finance.
Oh, man.
We will go to Cipla. Let's just go over Manappuram once, because there are a few more things to talk about that. No, it's MANAPP.
अरे MAN.
APP. So yeah, so though the marked out 111 wala level has broken down, it can act as a false breakdown and can reverse from here, as it has happened before. So 107, 108 is where it has closed. My trade, I'm already in this position, and I have kept my stop loss at 103. So roughly 10 rupees of stop loss I have kept in my trade. But I think the further it falls, I think the risk reward gets better, because the stop loss still remains at 103, 102 region. So the further it falls, basically smaller the stop loss. New trader or whoever enters into the position, a new will have to take. So that's something people can look at. This is just a setup that I had found, and it's a decent trend line also, so that it can actually hold up
Work,
from
yes.
here. Yeah, some buying can come from here. Another one, let's go over to Cipla, since it must have come into everyone's volume movers, large movers, index movers ka scanner.
All the scanners, yeah.
All the scanners. Basically 6% down roughly, if I'm not wrong, and the reason being,
6%.
yeah, 6%. One of its plants got some 7, 8, 10 observations from US FDA. All the pharma companies basically function around the words of US FDA, so anything that US FDA says negatively or even hints at some funny business when it comes to pharma companies is negative. How much of it is material, I'm not sure. I don't follow pharma sector very closely just yet, like I do energy sectors. So I'm not very sure what exactly happened, but yeah, it is a news based move. And as we usually say, unless it's a very serious news, like it happened with one of the large conglomerates in the previous month, I think this move, once a decent support comes, will be bought into. So I think somewhere near, I don't know where exactly this support is, probably
I'm,
900. Does 900 look like a decent level?
yeah, it's a swing. Yeah.
So 900 was a sort of a consolidation zone, so that might act as one. It can actually fall further down. There is always a chance of it. Previous swing high was at 730, so that is around 20% of correction from here, which you can't exactly eliminate. But I think this level we can enter into a trade with a smaller stop loss. If the stop loss gets hit, we can wait for 730 level. So that is something we can plan in Cipla, and Cipla's options are also decently liquid. So I'm guessing it would be better to take an options trade rather than block large margin for
Yeah.
Cipla, because there is a good chance it can just consolidate here for a couple of months, and because it's a swing trade, we can't really pledge the stocks and use it for options and things like that. So I'm a little hesitant to block margins on, or rather buy outright in cash on many of these stocks. So that's for Cipla. Let me just quickly see if Divis Lab has done something. Divis Lab has had very violent moves past
Yeah.
few
I think
days.
it had a bad result, right?
It's been having,
I think we had discussed this setup also. I remember
yeah,
on the channel.
yes. It's been having bad results for past 1.5 years now, in fact. So the peak margins and peak revenue, peak profit, everything came as the pandemic was subsiding in the mid 2021, and as the sort of the order flow for the pandemic related drugs thinned, so did the margins for Divis Lab. And at the same time, they're also investing in new capacity and things like that. So that also hurts the bottom line to some extent, because a lot of capex comes in. And this is what has happened. Also, the stock was trading at really high valuation for a commodity product. So they basically make generics, and generics by definition is a commodity product. And when a commodity product basically trades at a margin of specialty product, so it was trading at 60-70 price to earnings also at some point in time, thanks to a few fund managers and PMS people marketing it quite aggressively, I must say.
Like Asian Paints.
Yeah, like Asian Paints. But Asian Paints is still, I would consider, a decent, or rather more solid business than Divis Lab to some extent, considering how much fluctuations of in the earnings of Divis Lab there is, whereas Asian Paints ka earnings have been reasonably smooth over business cycles. So yeah, now that the gap has been filled, it remains to be seen where the 3100 gets. I mean, whether it gets taken out and we see an upside once again, or whether Divis corrects even further. Valuation wise, there is more scope to correct, but as you know, generally at the peak pessimism, the maximum buying of institutions happen.
Yes.
That being said, even on a longer time frame, I think, as Kshitij is showing us, 1300, 1400 seems to be a level from where a decent buying can come. Before that, I'm not so sure. And it's not
Even
a,
if you put Fibonacci, oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, 0.618 is around
yeah.
2500. Yeah.
Yeah, so considering 5200 ka ATH, about 50% correction from there is not unlikely. So we are almost there, a little more of that, and we will be at 0.618 level, so 2400 and something. But yeah, this still remains more of a fundamental story in most of the people's books. Also, because this is a much smaller stock, large institutions are very hesitant in building very large positions. So if I'm not wrong, this is still a sub 50,000 crore. Okay, oh, it is 77,000. So not a small stock, my bad, but still, it's still trading at a reasonable premium, 32 times price to earning. What's its book value? Where has the book value? On price to book, 6 times for a manufacturing company is just not sustainable. Manufacturing companies usually trade at price to book of 1.5, 2. People, the companies who do really good asset management can trade up to 3.5, but 6.5 is just not happening. So, but still in a very overvalued territory from what I see. But yeah, it has a stronger balance sheet, so you never know where the buying will come. The best thing we can do is just stick to our setup. So that's Divis Lab. Do we have any other stock in our watch list? Let me
I was
just.
looking at Asian Paints.
Okay. Oh yeah, we did also take a trade in Asian Paints.
Yes, yes. So I think the traps have already happened twice, and I really think now ट्रैप है ये. Like you understand?
Yeah.
ये दो ट्रैप हो गए, बायर्स को दो बार अटकाया, and I think now the third time the real move should come.
Hmm.
That's how I am looking at it, and I think it's in the bottom of the range also, if you see. So it should likely go up to at least, no, if not 3,500, but 3,200 at least. That is what I see.
Hmm.
I think City Union Bank came up with a bad result, I think. Yeah. Oh, and I have a level marked.
Hmm. This is, I mean, this is normal. Even when City Union Bank was at its ATH, we were saying ki generally the PSU stocks work in cycles. At least government banks do. So whenever their balance sheet, all the NPAs come in, the stock falls. Then they take time to repair their balance sheet. Then the stock rallies more than the private banks. Then again, the NPAs come in from all the loans that they have given for the growth. So it's a cyclical thing. I don't think City Union Bank is it City Union Bank a PSU bank?
I think so.
No, it's a private sector bank, but I think it applies to all the sort of
It
smaller.
sounds so much like a private public sector bank,
Yeah,
no?
it does, but it is apparently a private company. But it applies to all the smaller banks as well. In fact, even the banks like IDFC First, they have also had this NPA problem when after merging with IDFC, they carried just three accounts which were non-performing. One was a highway, one was a telecom, and another one was I don't remember which one. But then these three NPA accounts together accounted for more than 60-70% of their NPA. So over the years, the MD of the bank had to just keep repairing the balance sheet, keep making provisions, and so on. And that you can see in the stock price as well. That even since before COVID to now, the bank hasn't been able to perform even on the balance sheet front because all the time they have spent using and all the resources they have spent has just gone towards repairing the balance sheet and not actually growth. Whereas all the existing private sector players are flush with cash, they have a lot of money, they have all their NPA accounts provided for. Even the smaller private sector banks like Kotak Mahindra Bank has really solid balance sheet and can very easily outspend IDFC First Bank if it comes to that. So that I think still remains a very big pain point for all the banks like IDFC First or City Union or AU Small Finance or likes, which always have to face this uh, discipline problem of whether to give out loans aggressively and grow, or whether to loan out conservatively but risk losing market shares to larger players. So that remains a story to be studied in Indian banking space.
Also, I think they shifted to from giving industrial loans to retail loans, right?
Yeah.
The
They
whole
Yes,
yeah.
yes. They shifted to retail loans, but then that's the thing. No, the three large industrial loans that are non-performing, they are now recently their what do you call, individual loan book has gone above their corporate loan book. So retail loans have gone above
Ah,
their corporate loans, but that's what I said. No, just the three accounts make up majority of their non-performing books. So all the money they are making from retail loans are going towards providing for the commercial loans that they have given much in the past. And in fact, their parent company IDFC had given those loans, infrastructure loans. So that remains the problem. They're basically losing time to all the established
Yeah,
banks, even the likes of Axis and ICICI, who did not have as stronger balance sheets even 5 years back. So they are losing out big time to that. And just we saw in HDFC ka con call, they have opened up more branches in this quarter than all the other private sectors banks combined. So
true.
to fight on the same uh, stadium as the likes of HDFC and ICICI in itself is a humongous task, and adding a weak balance sheet in the mix just I think puts these smaller banks to much bigger disadvantage. And as people say, that people are looking for next HDFC bank, whereas the present HDFC bank will most likely be the next HDFC bank, because HDFC bank is there. It just won't let any other bank be as big as
True,
HDFC.
true.
So that's, do I have anything? I don't think I have anything. Do you have anything in your
And
watch list?
no.
All righty. Shall we wrap up the episode?
Yeah.
Where is the Zoom 10-minute time warning? So guys, thanks for tuning into After Hours with Bereez. This was Kshitijan Gandhar. After a long time, may I say, we have been together on the show.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, press the bell icon, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you're updated every time we upload a new video. Thank you.